All right, so I am trying to get this frozen seat post out of this frame, and I had never tried to do this on another bike before, but after looking at YouTube and several different things, well, actually before even looking at YouTube, I tried putting all sorts of PB Blast or liquid wrench down here, tapping it with a hammer, and then trying to move it with some vice grips, but it wouldn't budge. I had seen one guy on YouTube that had a slide hammer attached to his, and he was able to get his out, but it must not have been stuck too bad, because I did it on I drilled a hole through here, through a bolt, attached it with the slide hammer, and wasn't able to budge, and I probably hit hammered on it well over 100 times trying to get it loose, and wouldn't even budge. So one thing I've done in the past is to clean my rust out of my motorcycle gas tanks is using apple cider vinegar. And since this is a steel frame and a steel post, the only thing that's keeping this from moving is that it's rusted in. It's not an aluminum post. So I'm not sure how well this method would work with aluminum, but for steel, this was my best thought, is plugging up the hole down here. There was a little, I can get some better light, hole that comes down from the tube into this bottom bracket area. I bought a rubber stopper from a hardware store, and I had to grind it down to the size that would fit in that little hole. There we go. So I shoved that up in there, and then poured in apple cider vinegar through the top post until it filled up to about here. It's been sitting overnight, and I had just barely tried to twist the frame with my pipe wrench, and I was able to get it to break loose at this point. So now I'm going to attach the slide hammer and see if I can't get it pulled up, since it's broken loose at this point. Alright, so I've gone ahead and reattached my sliding hammer attachment with a bolt through there by chains. And I rented the slide hammer from AutoZone, and there's a kit that comes with different attachments, and that's the one you want to get, is the one that comes with attachments, because it has this looking attachment here that you just use the bolts that come with it. And I had to buy the chain and the bolts. Then just attach your slide hammer back in there. Alright, so at this point, I got my slide hammer attached. Better angle. I'm going to go ahead and mark down here just so I can tell if I'm making any progress going upwards. And we'll see what we can do here. Sure enough, it's moving. It's kind of awkward to hold this big frame by myself. And there we go. It's my initial mark, and now out this far, I'm still going to go ahead and just pull the stopper at the bottom, so I don't spill stuff all over. A lot of rust chunks that came out down below there. But we are on. There we go. Perfect. So if you have a stuck, rusted steel post in a steel frame, the apple cider vinegar will dissolve and eat away at the rust, but it's not going to hurt the steel short-term wise. And you can let it soak for, this was just overnight, But on my gas tanks, I've let it soak in there for a week or so to get things completely removed. But you know, if you're not in a hurry and you don't want to destroy anything, then I found that this was a very good method. Rented this slide hammer from AutoZone, so that cost me nothing. This is my homemade rubber stopper I got from Cal Ranch, which is a store here in Idaho, but it's not my focus. Oh, there we go. And I just kind of used my grinder to grind that down to the right size. And then the brown apple cider vinegar works a little bit better than the white vinegar in my experience. So that works really well for getting rust off of things or out of things. So at this point, just clean it up, and I'm going to replace the tubes anyways. But there you go, I've got it done.